Hey, so let's talk about what slope is. Slope is a comparison, a ratio between how far up and over you go. And even though you don't think about it much, you probably already know what slope is. For example, when you're looking at these little hills, you can kind of just by looking tell which one is the steepest. If I look at this one in the middle, I can see that going from the bottom to the top would be a pretty tough climb. It's very steep. Whereas this really short one, going from the bottom to the top, would be less steep. Okay, so it's how far up you have to climb as you're traveling across. Let me show you that on a graph as well. Just going to adjust my settings here so it's a little less complicated. All right, let's take a look. So here it is, a graph, and I'm starting at 0, and this line travels up, 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 and away. And what I want you to pay attention to is the fact that as I'm going over 10 boxes, you can see the dotted line here at 10, as I go over 10 boxes, I traveled up 1 box. All right, so that's a pretty low slope. All right, now I'm going to change the slope so that it's going up more as I'm traveling over. If I change this to 2 boxes up as I travel over 10, you can see I've gone the same distance to 10, but now I've gone up higher. That slope is steeper. It's a larger slope. And this comparison of up and over is the ratio that we measure slope by. If I change this to 3, it gets steeper. And as the number on the top increases, the line itself is at a larger angle. It gets steeper. So it's a measure of ratio between up and over. And as you go up more compared to the same distance over, you get a steeper line. So that's one of the most important things to know about slope. The other important thing to know about slope is that it can go in different directions. All right. So we measure the steepness of a line using a ratio or a rate of change. And the slope variable that you will use to see slope is m. Why do we use m? I have no idea. I tend to think of it as because it's how you move along the line, how far you are traveling up compared to over. The 4 types of slope are positive, which means you're traveling uphill, negative, or traveling downhill, 0 slope, because you have a flat line, and undefined. And the reason it's undefined is because slope is a measure of how things are slanted, how much you're traveling up and over. Here, I can give it a slope of 0 because I'm not traveling up at all, so it's a 0 slope or flat. For undefined, however, when something's going straight up and down, when we're measuring straight up and down, we're not trying to measure a tilt anymore, we're measuring height. So we say it's undefined because slope isn't the measure we would use for something that's going up and down. So if we're looking at this, one of the ways that you can remember which of the different types of slope are the slope dude, or in this case, slope Miss Reinemann. When you're traveling uphill, and remember you always read a graph from left to right, uphill means puff, puff, positive. It's a really rough climb, we're going uphill, nobody likes to go uphill, right? Then, as I'm going downhill, it's nice, negative. It's a lot of fun going downhill. Then, as you are hitting a flat spot, it is 0 fun. And when you're going up and down, it's undefined. Undefined. So puff, puff, positive, nice, negative, 0 fun, and undefined. Just as a quick reminder about what we've learned about slope today, slope is a ratio between how far up you're traveling as you're traveling over, up or down. It can be positive, it can be negative, it can be flat or 0, or undefined.